Welcome to an incredible evening with a wonderful panel of experts and professionals. Sue and I were just saying how impressive all of our guests are to bring everyone together. So we're really excited that you are joining us this evening.
Yeah, I think we're going to give it a couple minutes, but maybe only two because we have a really full schedule and we want to make sure that we are mindful of everybody's time, but always know this is going to be recorded. It will be on Her Library. It will be a very valuable resource. It's like you got 8 of us all together, including Unite for Her. You got 9 resources that you are going to be able to get very familiar with, utilize, ask questions about, and see how we can support you as a team, as a huge coalition.
Absolutely. So with that, I do want to get right into just to thank our sponsors, Sue, so that we do not forget to give big thanks to them because they are a huge reason of why we can continue to bring you incredible topics and speakers like we have this evening. So I want to give a big thanks to our presenting sponsor, West Pharmaceutical, and of course, additional support from Daiichi Sankyo, Merck, Lilly, GSK, and Immunogen, all working together to continue to allow our educational initiative to move forward.
Beautiful. And we do about 36 of these a year, Erin, right? That you're leading, and
at least.
And then we have a couple extra like this month, really adding a couple extra resources so that we can answer any of the questions that are front of mind for our community. So we're really honored to serve and really grateful for all those who support us.
Absolutely. And I would say, be sure as we move through, you keep your pens and paper handy so you can take notes. You can write down how you'll be connecting and points of contact. We will be sharing all of that afterwards. So as Sue said, fear not, it will all be available in our Her Library, but it's good to take advantage while you're here with us.
Yeah. A little homework. I'm sure that you guys know the housekeeping, please keep yourself muted. That allows for all of our speakers to have, that voice not being interrupted. We have a lot of presenters tonight, so we want to have time for Q&A at the end. So what we're going to ask is if those questions are coming up for that presenter, put them in the chat because they'll be active in the chat as well. So they might be able to get in there and just answer your question for you, so you don't have to wait until the end. But then we're also going to bring everybody up at the end, show this dynamic panel, and then we'll answer your questions there as well.
Wonderful. And I will give just a quick plug for some events that we have happening in October, and then we will jump right in because, like Sue said, we are trying to stay on time. So we are kicking off October next Wednesday with our virtual hangout, and we are continuing to embrace Hispanic Heritage Month. So our Latina liaison, our Hispanic dietitian, Catherine, will be having our virtual hangout in Spanish for our Hispanic community. She will be joined with a cancer exercise specialist. They will be focusing on movement. Catherine will be doing a cook demo and a mocktail menu. Also available on Zoom, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, October 4th, next Wednesday. And then we have our speaker series, October 5th, Thursday, just a week from today, also 6 p.m. We will be joined by our massage therapist from a partner nonprofit organization, Heal Well, and she'll be teaching us all about the benefit of self-massage, how it can support us physically, mentally, showing us how we can care for ourselves with doing our own self-massage, little learning, little demo, and I'm really looking forward to that as well. So that is next Thursday, a week from this evening, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, also available on Zoom. And as always, all of our events, including this evening, past and future, are available in our Her Library.
Beautiful. Thank you, Erin. Use that chat. Please tell us where you're calling in from. We have everybody far across the nation, maybe even outside of our country. So please put that in the chat. I know I am particularly, I am streaming in from Indiana because I'm speaking out here. Had a couple engagements. Boy, what a new world we have. We can work anywhere. That's good and bad. That's good and bad.
I know. Wonderful. All right. Shall we jump right in, Sue?
Totally. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So it is truly my pleasure to bring up our first speaker for this evening to highlight the incredible work that she does. So I want to introduce Emily Garfield. She is a two-time cancer thriver. She is the movement educator and certified master life coach. She founded the nonprofit organization Cancer Core Recovery Project in 2017 after her work with thousands of women online who were diagnosed with ovarian cancer. She is also the author of the book Reclaim Your Strength and Hope: Exercises for Cancer Care Recovery. Please join me in welcoming our first speaker this evening, Emily Garfield.
Hi, thank you. So I'm going to share my screen real quick here for a second. And it's going here. Oh, there we go. Sorry. So thank you so much for the introduction. And I am a movement educator. And being a woman who was diagnosed with advanced stage 3C ovarian cancer, I was really frustrated with the limited amount of resources that I could find on recovering specifically after cancer. So this whole book and my whole program was basically created out of a need for my own self. I did a lot of research and found nothing on ovarian cancer. Everything was on breast cancer and colon cancer. And I was about to have an ileostomy from my debulking surgery. And I had to get back to work. So I was a single mom running a Pilates studio. So what I did was reached out to my mentors, and they were all physical therapists. And I created a safe program that was evidence-based around how you can heal your body safely after major surgery without ever doing a sit-up, without doing crazy exercises. Everything was safe. And I'm going to show you a video now of my story so that you can connect and see that I have walked in your shoes. And I'm 8 years now cancer-free. And I have a great resource I'm going to share with you after the video. And then you're free to ask me any questions. So here we go. Oops.
Hi, I'm Emily Garfield. I wanted to share my story with you. January 9th, 2015, I had a major wake-up call. I was diagnosed with stage 3C ovarian cancer. Of course, the news was shocking to me, as it wasn't the first time I had cancer. At the young age of 4, I was diagnosed with a rare childhood cancer called rhabdomyosarcoma. I went through 2 years of major chemotherapy and radiation at just the age of 4. I grew up feeling ashamed of my body, alone, and I had no one to talk to. This time around, when I had cancer, I was so upset that I told my doctor, I think I'd rather just die. Being a Pilates and yoga teacher, and that was my job, I thought, how can I ever go back to work? This is devastating. But then I sat in her arms and cried, and she looked at me and said, Emily, you have 3 young, beautiful kids to live for. You're strong and motivated, and if anyone can do it, you can. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to share my story, to give you the motivation and the inspiration. I want to be that person for you. I want to wake up every day with you and work out with you and give you the tools, the simple tools that you can use every day of your life to get strong. It doesn't have to be much. It just needs a few simple things, a few minutes every day. And trust me, you will feel better. I said to myself, if I survive this cancer, I am going to have a purpose now, a mission to inspire, motivate, and educate other people just like me in survival, especially women that have had gynecological cancers or anyone who has had abdominal cancer surgery. There was no manual in the hospital. There was nothing for me to do. So I just started moving my body. And thankfully, I knew how to move my body, and I wasn't afraid to move my body, because I had worked in the fitness industry and I had taught Pilates and yoga for many, many, many years. So months go by, I'm in my recovery, and now I'm here today to inspire you. I have a dream, and this is my dream. My dream is to bring this to life, to bring it into the hospitals, to bring it into your home, and to inspire you, but mostly to be your virtual friend. I am here for you to help you. So I created my own little moves that I put together, and they're really easy, and we're going to have fun. So I hope you're just as excited as I am, because I'm so excited to share with you what I did on my personal journey, and everything I give you was honestly, truly what I did myself. So trust me, I'm not here to hurt you or to make you work out and sweat. We're here to build our bodies strong from the inside out, and that's how we're going to heal, from the inside out. I believe in you. I know you can do it. All it takes is a little hope, a little inspiration, and a little motivation, and someone like me to help you along the way.
Okay, so I wanted to highlight my client in there, Josepha. She's 88 years old and she's a stage 4 ovarian cancer thriver of 50 plus years, as well as breast cancer. And she does all of my exercises. A question that people ask me often is, do you need to have props? Or what if we don't have props? You don't have to use any props if you don't want to. You could use a pillow instead of the ball, but I honestly use balls and stuff to help my stomach now, so I don't strain and cause pressure in my abdomen after surgery with all the scar tissue. And it really helps you strengthen your core. But mostly, like, you could do a lot of the stuff using a chair, standing, to strengthen your hips. And we all need to work on balance in general. So it's just really good for anyone. So as a courtesy for Unite for Her, Cancer Core Recovery Project and myself are offering you a complimentary access to a year of my entire program. It's pretty robust. You can go inside the program, and at any phase of your recovery, phase 1, you're in the hospital, you're doing simple exercises like pointing your toes, things to circulate blood flow, because blood flow is healing. There is no abdominal exercises, so don't hear the word core and think it's like sit-ups, because it's not. You'll never do a sit-up in my program. A lot of breathing, like that stretching your diaphragm muscle, areas that cancer gets in our core, scar tissue stretching, so simple things. And then it goes into different phases all the way up to, using balls if you're getting stronger, but you can pick and choose. It's self-paced. And yes, I'm excited for you to have this program. And if you have any questions, you can always just reach out to me by my email. I'll put it in the chat. I'll give you my website, and you can always get a hold of me through Unite for Her.
Beautiful. Thank you, Emily.
Hope I was on time.
Perfect.
You're great. Yeah. And Sue did put your email for anyone that wants to reach out directly to Emily, and her website as well, so you can access that and check out all of her services, all of the testimonials. It's amazing.
Yeah, and just one more thing, it's not just exercises. There are healing exercises around mindset and rewriting your story. So there's a lot of healing, lots of stuff in there around another section. So there's lots to dig into, and yeah, just check it out.
Terrific. Thank you, Emily. Awesome.
All right.
We have our Erin, we have our next one up. So I am going to introduce Shannon Zarilla. So Shannon, if you want to join me front and center, Shannon Zarilla is a current gynecologic cancer program manager at Latina Share. With her role, she provides support, guidance, and empowers women who face ovarian, uterine, and cervical cancer. She is dedicated to building trust relationships with the women she serves and educating the Hispanic community about the signs and symptoms, as well as the resources that they have access to. So Shannon, thank you for taking the time. I know you are running 2 events at one time, so we really appreciate you.
Thank you, Sue. Hi, everyone. It's nice to meet you. For those that I don't know, give me 1 second. I think Erin. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Erin, for sharing screen for me. I'm feeling a little under the weather, so sorry if I sound kind of stuffy, but it's nice to meet you all. My name is Shannon. So basically at Latina Share, I am the GYN Cancer Program Manager. I've been with Share about 1 year and 7 months now. Super grateful to be a part of such a wonderful organization. So basically a general gist of what we do is that we are a nonprofit, and we offer support for women affected by breast, ovarian, cervical, and uterine cancer, as well as metastatic breast cancer. So we just provide a support system. We have our services available in English, Spanish, and Chinese. So a little bit about our program is that we offer educational programs on different varying topics, not only on cancer, but it can also include on nutrition, maybe health and wellness courses like yoga, etc. We also offer patient navigation and advocacy work. We make sure to let the women we serve know what they have access to. A lot of them, at least the population I come into contact with, can include undocumented women or women with low cost insurance. So we make sure to educate them on what kind of resources they have access to. We have our support groups, which are held monthly, depending on what type of cancer you have. We have them online, as well as some are starting to be in person. We also have our national helpline where you can call us and talk about your treatments, maybe if you have any questions or concerns, and truly just listen and offer you support through your cancer journey, as well as our outreach efforts. These are events such as like health fairs or maybe street events that are led by our trained ambassadors who provide information to those who come up to our tables, and we just educate the public about our services and about these different types of cancers that we serve. So all of our services are free of charge, and Latina Share, like I said, is kind of the branch I work with, and we have a successful program of 30 years of offering all our free services in Spanish. So you can press the next slide. I think there's one more. Okay, perfect. So if anyone is interested, please feel free to reach out to me. I currently facilitate and run the monthly Spanish GYN support group on Zoom with Miriam Salamo. She's a cervical cancer survivor. So she helps me run that group. And then my information is there, my telephone number, as well as my email. Our office is on West 46th Street, but we are remote, and then we'll have some in-person events depending on, for example, like we had our conference, we just had our gala last Thursday in person, but everything else is pretty much virtual. And lastly, I wrote down our social media page. If anyone's interested, we get a big following from our Instagram and Facebook. And we have rebranded our Instagram, and it's really nice. So I would check it out if I were you guys. But nothing, if you guys need anything, I'm here. It's super nice to meet all of you, and I'm super grateful to be a part of this opportunity. So thank you guys.
Thank you so much, Shannon. And I'm glad you shared your social media and your contact information. So please be sure to follow them and definitely reach out if anyone has any questions for Shannon. So we appreciate you being here.
Thank you guys. Yeah, and those pictures are just, one of them is our support group. That's the in-person one. And then the second one is from our conference back in June. That's our team.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
I have a couple in the chat too for you, Shannon. So your Instagram's in there and Facebook.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, you
Great.
got it. Thank you for joining.
All right.
Erin, we're moving along. We're going to bring in Robin next.
Absolutely. All right, let me grab, okay. So it is truly my pleasure to introduce Robin this evening, just as a local Philadelphia area ovarian supporter. So Robin Cohen is the CEO and co-founder of the Sandy Rollman Ovarian Cancer Foundation. She's a member of the Oncology Nursing Society, the Society of Gynecologic Nurse Oncologists, and Cambridge's Who's Who. She's also the vice chair of the board of the World Ovarian Cancer Coalition, and the secretary of the board of the Ovarian Cancer Research Alliance. She is certainly a busy person, and we are so thankful that you made it home from California to join us this evening. So Robin, we're so glad that you're here with us.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Thank you, Erin.
Of course. And I will also bring your slides up in just a moment. All right.
Thank you. Just to tell you a little bit about our start, I was Sandy Rollman's oncology nurse. She was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer when she was 32. And her sister and I started the organization. At the time of her diagnosis over 20 years ago, there were only 2 drugs available for ovarian cancer and 1 clinical trial. And it was difficult to even connect her with another survivor. So we really based our organization on what wasn't available to Sandy at the time of her diagnosis. Next slide. Our mission is to fight for those who are fighting, speak for those who have fallen silent, and provide for those working to end ovarian cancer. A big part of, we redid our website a couple of years ago, and a theme that runs throughout it, which is very important to me as an oncology nurse, is clinical trials. We have a clinical trials matching service on our website, and we also created a clinical trials pocket guide. It was based on a roundtable we conducted with patients and caregivers. Questions to ask when you are diagnosed with ovarian cancer. It's a pocket guide with glossary of terms. I remember one of the women when we conducted the roundtable sat across from me and she said, "I wish I would have known." And I never want to hear another woman say that again. You should have the information that you need so that you can make the best treatment decisions that you possibly can. So it's available for free download on our website, or we're happy to send you a hard copy. Next slide. Some of our programs, we have a peer-to-peer mentoring program called With a Little Help from Her Friends, that we connect a newly diagnosed woman with someone who's gotten to the other side of things, around the same age, same stage, same treatment plan, because there's nothing like talking to someone who has walked in your shoes and who has made it to the other side. We also have a Survive and Thrive program. It's a 6-month program where we bring survivors in, give them the tools to live with and beyond an ovarian cancer diagnosis. We let them pick the topics. So some topics have been nutrition, sexuality after a cancer diagnosis, insurance issues, laughter yoga. And in 6 months, those women graduate. They always know where their home base, and we bring a new group in. And we modeled the same program for caregivers. So we have Caring for the Caregiver. And we also have a Teal Sisters support group that meets every other week. That's just an open forum. It's actually run by survivors. All of our support groups during the pandemic organically became open to all GYN oncology patients, and they've remained that way. And they've also remained virtual. So we have participants from all over the country. And a new initiative that we're working on is a 3 to 13 initiative aimed at increasing the participation in clinical trials for Black women. Black women are underrepresented in clinical trials, so we're working with hospitals, we're working with sponsors of the drugs and patients to increase that participation. Next slide. One thing that we do that a lot of the patients really love is that we bring physicians together amongst different institutions to network and collaborate and to learn from one another. So we hold GYN oncology consortiums throughout the country. One big plus has been that the institutions have been able to share their clinical trials with each other. That's been a pattern that's run throughout every consortium that we've done. And it's really beneficial for patients to have physicians working together. Next slide. And we know that if we want to be part of the cure, we need to fund the cure. So we raise money for research. We've donated over $6 million. A lot of our funding comes from Sandy Sprint Run Walks. They're peer-to-peer fundraising events, and we know that people work hard to raise money for us, so we use that money efficiently and effectively and immediately, and we make a difference with those funds. And that's our website and our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Please keep in touch with us. And if anyone would like the pocket guide mailed to them, the clinical trials guide, just send us an email and we'll get that right to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Robin. Robin, do you have the link that we can put in there? I saw that you had a guide that was an active link. Could you put that link into the
Yes,
chat?
I will do that.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And always love seeing those art museum steps. I just keep picturing Rocky running up those steps.
Yeah.
You know, for those of you that don't know Philadelphia, that's iconic for us. Thank you. Thank you, Robin.
Thank
Sure.
you, Robin.
Thank you.
All right, our next speaker is Terry Jordan. Terry Jordan serves as the Chief Industry Relations and Business Development Officer for the Society of Gynecologic Oncology and the Foundation for Women's Cancer. She manages relationships with industry partners. She also serves as a conduit to connect SGO and FWC with organizations working in the care of gynecologic cancer patients. So Terry, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you to our industry sponsors for also bringing us all together. Trying to get this into slideshow mode. There we go. Oh no. All right, there we go. So I'm here today representing the Foundation for Women's Cancer. We are the official foundation for the Society of Gynecologic Oncology, which is the professional association in the US for gynecologic oncologists and the members of the care team, people who care for gynecologic cancer patients. We're the only national organization that supports all gynecologic cancers. Actually, that's not as much true as it used to be because more and more people are expanding. We operate on 3 pillars. The first is education, the second, research, and the third is awareness. And again, around all cancers. You can see some information on each one about what we have done, and we'll go into a little more detail. Our education consists of patient education resources. All of our resources are available at our website. They can be ordered for point of sale. They exist in downloadable format, as well as we have print brochures available. Nearly everything, and we are getting closer to 100% on that website, is available in Spanish and Mandarin Chinese. All of our online resources are free, and the first 100 brochures, so print brochures, are available to any nonprofit organization or anyone who wants to share them at a local, for example, peer-to-peer event for free. In addition, we have 3 video education modules. One is designed for newer diagnosed gynecologic cancer patients, one targeted towards recurrence and maintenance. And we have a new 6-module series that was designed by caregivers and designed for caregivers. Our research, since 1995, we have granted $9.9 million in funding through grants and prizes. Our model is that we provide seed money for early career gynecologic researchers, and many times this is the first money they receive. Because it's an NIH model, we partner with a lot of other nonprofit organizations throughout the country who raise money, and we partner together to bring our resources together so that there's enough money to provide a grant. And we're very, very grateful for the participants, many of whom are on this call. As you can see, 95% of our grant recipients stay involved in gynecologic cancer research, and many of the physicians that who are treating people today started with an FWC research grant. So this is a really important part of what we do. The grants fund not just disease research and surgical research, but we also have grants that fund research in health equity and diversity, which is really important to us as well. Our awareness pillar, our awareness program, is called Move the Message. During COVID, we all had a wake-up call, and we had realized even before that while we have great resources, they aren't getting into the hands of the people who need them the most. So this program was targeted to empower high-risk and historically marginalized communities to have access to our resources, to better use our social media tools, to bring out our members and our experts who are in communities throughout this country, and to disseminate our resources to the people who need them. We have a separate website. We track our metrics separately. We have several social media influencers who work for us in this effort, and we're really thrilled with the outcomes. This also includes community outreach. So we've been at events in New York, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, this year in Puerto Rico, in Chicago, and throughout the country. So we are really working to get resources on all gyn cancers into the hands of the people who need them the most. This year, every year, our culminating fundraiser event is called Move for Her. It's been virtual the last few years, as has everything else. This year, we were able to bring it back live for the first time. We did a small Move for Her event in Washington, D.C., but this is continuing with events throughout the country, some in culmination and in partnership with some of those events, community events that we have seen. But to this point, for 2023, we've raised over $500 million, which will go to support the three pillars that we just talked about. And we're almost to our goal. So we're very excited. The website for Move for Her is moveforher.org. And it is centered around healthy movement, like what Emily just showed us and talked about. So we're here because we love working alongside of these dedicated organizations that are on this call. We love working alongside any other organizations that are out there. And we're here to support in any way we can ovarian cancer patients, their families, and caregivers. This is my information, but I'll share our other websites in the chat. And I'm very grateful for this time and for being with all of you.
Thank you so much, Terry. Thank you. And yeah, please share your additional links in the chat so that we can get connected on all your platforms.
Thank you,
Wonderful. Terry. So many great connections and resources so far. So this is just turning out to be, as we expected, a really wonderful evening. So also I want to welcome those who hopped on a little late. We will be sharing all of the presentations and contacts. So for those that you may have missed earlier this evening, know that in our Her library, all of those resources and contact information will be available to you. All right. So jumping into our next speaker for this evening, and I have the pleasure of working with Jennifer 2 days in a row. She was at our Shine conference yesterday, but I am happy to introduce Jennifer McClendon. She is the Education and Mission Program Senior Manager at the National Ovarian Cancer Coalition. For more than 20 years, Jennifer has poured her heart and soul into educating, supporting, and empowering patients and families with the knowledge they need to make informed and confident healthcare decisions. She finds fulfillment in being able to break down hard to understand medical concepts and terminology into plain language using a variety of learning principles, including adult learning and behavioral change theories. Jennifer, it's such a pleasure to see you again today. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. Can you all see my screen okay?
Yep, it looks great.
Okay, wonderful. No, it's my honor. And as has been echoed by many of the other panelists, I just am so excited that we're all able to come together and work for a common goal. And it's such a privilege to be here. So thank you. But yes, I would like to talk to you a little bit about this evening about the National Ovarian Cancer Coalition and the programs and services that we offer. And first, I kind of want to go over as far as our organization's vision and our mission. So our vision is really, to envision that future where no one ever loses their life to ovarian cancer. And along with that, our mission is to save lives through the prevention and cure of ovarian cancer to improve the quality of life for survivors and their caregivers. We are excited to involve caregivers in our mission as well, and we look forward to working towards a world where no one loses their life to this disease. And a big part of that is, as we are all doing, is that awareness, that education and research. We're passionate about, as you are, getting the word out about this disease, educating those in our communities, and really investing in some impactful research that will hopefully one day, lead to advancements in not only treatments and cures, but prevention and screening and diagnosis as well. So our goal as an organization is really to ensure that we are addressing the needs of you, our ovarian cancer community, while also building relationships with you across the country, which also help us to spread the word about ovarian cancer and inspire action. And we ensure that we're living really into this mission with each program and service that we are so blessed to be able to offer. And we provide thanks and guidance to this out of our four mission pillars, as you can see here, which are awareness, quality of life, community outreach, and research. And I'll talk just really quickly about a few of those here. But before I do that, I also want to let everyone know that we really work hard to reach and support you, the ovarian cancer community across the entire country. We know that you provide help and care we provide help and care not only to survivors, as I mentioned earlier, but also to your loved ones, to your families, as this is a challenging time. And so we went to a regionalized approach a few years back to care for people across the country, ensuring that no one, no matter where they live, gets the benefit of our programs and services, and hopefully doesn't feel quite as alone. So, whether it's informational support, practical support, we just want you to know that we're there for you, extending hopefully, a compassionate and caring presence to you when you need it. And this slide is really the one I want to spend the most time on, and this is our programs and services that we offer. So we offer our programs and services through a 360-degree approach to your care. And this refers really to our comprehensive and holistic programming and support services that address your well-being. We want to consider your physical, your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, your financial, and environmental well-being. All of those are such important factors that each play a role in your health. And so this approach really hopefully will ensure that your needs are taken care of as best as possible. And we aim to address those barriers that you may run into from time to time. So each program and service that's listed here that we offer hopefully supports you along your journey in some way by removing, like I said, some of the barriers that you might find yourself in, whether it's you're needing emotional support, whether it's you need just a financial helping hand, financial assistance, whatever your immediate need is, we want to get in there and help you with that. So we understand the emotional toll that this takes not only on you, but your loved ones, your caregivers. And so we have some really great peer-to-peer support programs. Our Teal Hearts Network is our survivor care support group, which we do on a monthly basis as well in each region. We also have our caregiver support group, our Teal Cares Network, which is a really wonderful program as well, which is the first Tuesday of each month, as well as an online forum where you are able, it's called Cancer Connect, where you're able to connect with others 24/7. We also have our online educational resources and programs, which we hope those will really empower you with the knowledge that you need. We also have interactive online tools that we've created. This one here in the middle is called our animated patient guide, which we're quite proud of. We have online wellness symposiums, Ask the Experts, as many of my colleagues here today also offer. Just more the merrier, right? To keep you informed so that you can participate in your healthcare and make decisions alongside your healthcare providers. So this is just a listing of some of our online programs, and then some of our practical assistance, our support services that we offer families every day include, we have a free meal delivery service. We have one-on-one counseling. We have financial assistance program, which includes grants for those who are enrolled in clinical trials to help you get through that process, as well as some survivor care kits that are mailed to you either when you're diagnosed or when you're facing a recurrence. We're so happy to be able to send those to you as well. And then finally, of course, we are also trying to get back out into the community and have that opportunity for you to connect with one another, right? I know that you crave that getting together and that connection. So we do that through, as well as our run walk events. We have retreats regionally throughout the country once or twice a year, and our conference, as well as some other regional education events. So that kind of gives a high level overview of some of the programs and services that we offer. So how do you get in touch with these programs? There is a QR code on the screen that you can use. You can, if you're familiar with QR codes, just put your camera up to the screen and it should take you right to the website. Or you can, of course, go to ovarian.org, our website, to find out which region you might be located in, and we're there to help you navigate through all of these wonderful programs and services. And here's our email. So hopefully, we can be there for you when you need us. And thank you again. And here is my email. Feel free to reach out to me at any time if I can help in any way. And thank you again for having us.
Oh, thank you, Jenny. Really appreciate that.
Let me stop sharing.
And it's so good to see all these resources, because sometimes you might see some resources that might be a little bit duplicative, but what you do is you end up taking those resources and see how long they're good for, and then go to the next organization and then piggyback and use theirs, right? Really understanding how you can strategically get the most out of all these resources together. So thank you so much for sharing, Jenny. All right, Erin, we're going to move on to our next speaker, and that is Chris Ann Tallarico. So Chris Ann Tallarico is the director of ovarian cancer counseling with Clarity, where she leads the Steps Through OC program. Steps Through OC offers 10 sessions of emotional support over a 6-month period of time to any ovarian cancer survivor or caregiver in the U.S. Chris Ann is a licensed clinical social worker who has been working with cancer patients for more than 20 years. She's especially invested in advancing the level of psychosocial support available to cancer survivors through the use of technology, with the hope of making it easier for anyone touched by cancer to receive support. So Chris Ann, thank you for joining us.
Hi, everyone. It's really nice to see you today. I'm going to share my screen, so hopefully you can see my presentation as well. It is so great to see so many organizations doing such great work. So I want to just echo what I'm imagining everybody else has said, but it's great. And it's wonderful to be with folks who have been diagnosed themselves. I hope we have programs that might be of interest to you, just as some of the other programs I'm sure are of interest. I represent Clarity. You heard a little bit about my background. Our hope is to be a committed partner to you along the way of this experience, and not just for people who've been diagnosed themselves, but also for active caregivers. We have 2 hallmark programs that we offer. One is treatment decision support, and our treatment decision support team is the opportunity to meet one-on-one, to have an individualized ovarian cancer conversation about your own unique clinical situation and any clinical trials that might be appropriate to you. And so that's not meeting with a medical physician, that's meeting with a scientist who has been in and out of the data related to ovarian cancer treatments for years. And so depending on how much of your own medical history you're willing to share, she can have a personalized conversation with you about treatments that might be appropriate for you and might be more personalized for you, that you then take to your oncologist to, feel more informed as you're making some of those treatment decisions. That's our first program. And our other program is called Steps Through OC. And Steps Through OC is our emotional support program, where we offer 10 sessions of emotional support over a 6-month period of time to anyone who's been diagnosed with ovarian cancer themselves, or anybody who's an active caregiver. I wanted to share a little bit more information about Steps Through OC. Our team includes licensed clinical professionals in the mental health field, though it is not psychotherapy per se, but our clinicians have worked in cancer and or bereavement for years, and they understand the trauma of this diagnosis. side effects related to surgery and treatment. Often we're meeting with people who may already have a therapist in their own community. But what we've heard time and time again, and some of the other organizations may have experienced this as well, is that there is something unique about not having to translate the ovarian cancer experience while you're also having to share what's going on for you emotionally. We understand that this impacts not just the person who's diagnosed, but certainly family and friends. That fear of recurrence is almost part of the experience. There can be high anxieties, short tempers, changes, sorrows, lots of adjustments. And we call it a brush with mortality, which I think comes with almost any cancer diagnosis. But we really try to help people explore that or feel, begin to kind of unpack what that means for them. And then we also understand the science of ovarian cancer. Our OC counselors in our Steps Through OC program work from this general model, and this is what we call our phase model, phases of ovarian cancer, which essentially for us just means that there are different phases that somebody goes through once they're diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And we start with that green section, the crisis of diagnosis. And the model is helpful, I think, both for people who are going through the experience, but also for family and friends, because what somebody needs at the time of their diagnosis is very different and looks very different than what they might need at a different point in the experience. So in that crisis of diagnosis, we're working with somebody at that point, we're really working on stabilization, helping them get grounded. What are their stress management, techniques, and how do they begin to calm their body as they're experiencing what is often for many people called a trauma in their life. And from there, the next phase generally is coping with treatment. And we see lots of practical demands at this point. How are my routines changing? How are my roles changing? How am I managing my medications? How am I adjusting to these new chemotherapy medications, but also medications for quality of life? And so, help and support at that point looks much more practical in nature. And then there's a transitioning to new normal. And that can happen during treatment, that can happen after treatment, and that can happen if treatment continues. But essentially this idea of, I'm not who I was. I don't know who I want to be yet. I just know that I'm changing, and I know that this experience has changed me. And so there's there can be a lot of reflection on our identity. And we really try to help guide people and maybe even explore with them by prompting questions around what are the aspects of themselves that they liked and that they want to bring back if they felt like they've lost them through treatment? What are the new parts of themselves that they maybe didn't know? Many women will say, I'm stronger than I thought that I would be. And so we're really trying to help them identify who's the person that they want to be as they're moving forward. And then the fourth phase being managing uncertainty. Not that uncertainty doesn't happen at all points during this experience, but we're really trying to hone in on, there are fears about recurrence, and there are some uncertainties, and how do you want to live with that? How do you want to relate to that? In the very beginning, when people register, we ask them about 32 different questions on different topics about how concerning this is. And not that you can read this, but we tried to build it off of the phase model to capture all of the different areas of someone's life that they're impacted. And this helps us just get started with the parts of their life that they're most distressed by. Who's eligible and how does it work? We are open, or our programs, all of our programs are available to people who've been diagnosed and their active caregivers. It's not psychotherapy, so we're not diagnosing a mental health condition. There's no treatment plan. There's no agenda brought by our team. It really is what will be supportive, what will be of service to you. And then with all of our services, there's no charge to participate. 10 sessions over a 6-month period of time. That's pretty fluid and pretty flexible, I have to admit. So if you need more than 6 months, okay. If you need a few more than 10, okay. If you're good at 5, also okay. Our goal is flexibility and really trying to adapt to whatever it is you need. We have OC counselors that are spread across the United States. So our program is open to anybody who's in the United States. And then we meet by either telephone or video conference, whatever the participant's preference. I think I mentioned the conversation's participant driven. So really whatever it is that is of concern or of conversation for you in that moment and on that day, let's talk about that as long as it's related to ovarian cancer. Along with that, we may also offer or share resources like Unite for Her or other organizations here. Especially if we're hearing somebody says, I want a group, and the group's, I'm not really sure where to look, then we try to arm people with those kinds of resources, or even refer them out if they need particular referrals. When we initially designed this program back in 2018, we built in as part of it an evaluation of the program itself. So at that time, when the evaluation was completed in 2020, the program itself was associated with statistically significant improvements in coping, in stress, in emotional well-being, and in quality of life. And so we're continuing to monitor that to be sure that the program we want to be delivering is actually meeting the mark for people. I just want to share 2 more slides related to our treatment decision support program. So again, this is personalized one-on-one conversation with our scientific team, who is a scientist, aiming to help you understand standard treatment options that might be available for your particular clinical situation, any genetic testing or tumor biomarker test results that you've had, and helping to explain and helping to make sure you really understand what that might mean for you in terms of predicting the benefit of any targeted therapies that you might be receiving or be looking toward in the future. And then personalizing a clinical trial search based on your preference. So sometimes people are faced with the comment from their oncology to go and find a clinical trial or to explore a clinical trial, and they're not given a lot of resources or ways to go about doing that. And so we try to take some of the not just some of the mystery out of that, but also some of the effort. I mean, it can be really challenging to go onto clinicaltrials.gov and just see which of these trials might work well for me. And so again, not medical advice, but really a conversation personalized to you with the goal that the TDS, our treatment decision support team, is helping you craft questions that you want to bring to your team. You're armed with then this information to bring to your doctor or your oncologist or your clinical trial team. In order to enroll in our program, we do ask for medical records. And so that is so that the conversation can be personalized to your unique needs. Again, I think I've said it a few different times, but it is personalized to your unique needs, and then there is no charge to participate. The one thing I did want to say, just as I'm going to stop the share here so I can see all your faces, is for anybody who has a very unique histology, our TDS, our treatment decision support program, is especially valuable. So just want to be aware of that, because I know sometimes people with a unique histology have trouble finding each other. So I want to be sure that you're aware of that. We can be a resource for you in that way. Thank you so much for the time today.
Oh, thank you, Chris-Ann. Wonderful. And if you'll put that link, I know we linked your website, but also that general email in the chat, that would be great. All right, wonderful. Perfect. Okay, moving along, we've got another wonderful resource to share with Susan Patterson. So after a career in marketing for solar energy companies, including 4 years in Bermuda, which I can't say I'm not a little jealous of, Susan made the decision to leave the corporate world and fulfill a wish by her friend Patty to create a nonprofit designed to specifically to support women with ovarian cancer. Fast forward to 2022, Susan took over Ovations for the Cure of Ovarian Cancer and created a female-focused board of directors with ties to the ovarian community to help fulfill her dream to grow the program. Susan, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
No, thank you so much for having me here. And first, my apologies. I don't have slides. We're in the process of upgrading our system. And it had a few problems. So the PowerPoint is one of the problems. So I'm just gonna kind of go through my notes because I was not able to send anything that even looked remotely legible. So a little bit about Ovations. As was stated, we started in 2005, and Patty's vision was to provide a support system and a support service for women and their families while they are in treatment. She noticed going to the hospital and spending so much time there that there are women there in the hospital that needed help and had nowhere to turn. So she wanted to be a place for them to turn. So the last 2 years of her life, we got Ovations up and running, and we to this day are still continuing to fulfill her goal. So the majority of our support services have been New England based. We were Mass, now we're at New England. And they include things like the grocery store gift cards for basic essentials, the Helping Hands meal delivery program. When this meal program, it's a special one to me. It provides healthy and easy to prepare meals for the entire family that anyone in the family can put together so that the special bond of mealtime can continue. What I also love about this is we do the deliveries personally, myself and volunteers, and the volunteers are people that at one point received the meals. Now they're doing good, they're off the program, and this is their way of giving back. So when they do the deliveries, they spend time with the patients, they talk, they share stories, and it's an encouraging time for everyone. And I love that. So we also do the house cleaning support groups, transportation assistance, and we will be updating the support services next year with our new board, and everyone has great ideas. And anyone in the New England area that has an idea or something that they want us to look into that they know people need help with, please reach out and let me know. I will put my email and our website in the chat. We do one nationwide program, and it's called the Butterfly Bangle. It's been different programs over the year, but one thing Patty wanted to do was give gifts. She loved to give gifts. So the butterfly bangle is what we have now, and it's teal butterfly with a teal crystal, and it's given to any patient diagnosed with ovarian cancer with the hope of showing a support system that if they look over, oh, that woman has a bracelet, they know automatically she's on the same journey as them. And we've gotten emails about beautiful stories that have been created about people seeing this on one another, and then they have become friends. So this is done nationwide. We don't, send us a request, the doctor's office, and we send them out. Our big event, which is next month, is a free yearly day of hope and healing, we call it, and it's held at the Four Seasons in Boston. The morning consists of presentation interactions with Boston area gynecologic oncologists with the latest in research, clinical trials, information, anything that the patient and their caregiver could find valuable. There is no cost to anyone. It's just the park, everything is free. It's just a special day for them. They then have a private room at the Four Seasons for lunch so they can sit and share and talk with each other. And then the afternoon is spent in breakout session where we invite other area local nonprofits to join us and have a table there and be there, just to show the ovarian community around here that yes, we all work together. We're all here to help you, and we all want to make a difference in your life. So we have like the yoga people, Reiki, we have Reiki there this year too, which is kind of nice, but anything that's non-medical is in that room, as well as like NOCC, the Mass chapter will be there. The other local chapters to say this is a one-stop shop. We're all working for you. And then we focus on education awareness by traveling to doctors' offices and hospitals where we have symptom cards and brochures. And we have made small groups in Western Mass, North Shore, and South Shore so that we cover all different areas of the state, and they're working to do the same thing. And every year we do Team Ovations, the Boston Marathon, Jimmy Fun Walk, and to date we have donated to Dr. Ursula Madalona's research fund $1.6 million. And that's us so far. And I'm sorry again, my face, no slides, my apologies.
That's all right. We love looking at you, Susan. We appreciate you. Wonderful. So hopefully for those that are in the Massachusetts area, they'll get connected locally, but also be sure to check out her website for those that are across the country as well. So it's nice to have a little mix of both.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. All right. And last but not least, we have Clara McKay. Clara, thank you for holding on with us.
No
CEO of the World Ovarian Cancer Coalition, Clara McKay has more than 20 years of experience in cancer advocacy, including a senior level position in UK organizations covering ovarian, pancreatic, bowel, prostate, and breast cancer. Clara was the founding member of the World Pancreatic Cancer Coalition and the chair of the UK group Cancer 52, a network of nearly 100 cancer groups representing the interest of rare and less common cancers. After 25 years in the UK, Clara returned to her native Canada in 2016. In addition to her role with the World Ovarian Cancer Coalition, Clara is chair of the national Canadian charity Craig's Cause Pancreatic Cancer Society. Clara, I'm going to let you take the stage.
Thank you. And thank you very much. And it's my great honor to be here. And I'm really just humbled by the expertise and the level and quality of resources and support provided by my colleagues in this session. So we're a little different from the organizations maybe that have presented, but I am actually very delighted that actually we all share a commitment to a world where everyone who is at risk of or diagnosed living with ovarian cancer has the best chance of survival and the best quality of life possible. We are the only global advocacy organization that's focused entirely on ovarian cancer, and how we drive our work is through working in partnership, providing evidence, supporting and driving advocacy and raising awareness. We don't provide patient-facing services, but for our member organizations, we actively signpost and promote the services and resources that our members have. So briefly, we're a global network of over 200 advocacy organizations worldwide. Our members are populated in over 50 countries. I think about 44 of our member organizations are US based. Very diverse membership, everything from people who are volunteers working at their kitchen tables to raise awareness and funds, right through to many of the larger, more well-resourced. I never say that an advocacy organization is well-resourced, but more well-resourced organizations. And again, we are populated in many, many countries. Our global kind of perspective is really grounded in our board. And here's the lovely Robin Cohen, who's joined us here today, is a vice chair of the coalition. But as you can see, we have not just a diverse membership, but we have a diverse board of directors. We also work with awareness ambassadors that are located in countries like Kenya and Nigeria, as well as the US. So what do we do? I say, I think we're probably best known for World Ovarian Cancer Day. The coalition really emerged from the day, which started in 2013. I think at that time, there was a reach of about 50,000 people worldwide who participated in the day. Last year, we had over 200 million reach in terms and mainly social media, but also through earned media as well. You may have seen billboards in New York Times Square, in Piccadilly Circus in London, but also last year was the first time that we had really high profile celebrities really get behind the day and endorse the activities. And again, Robin was, you may have seen her on the Drew Barrymore show on May 8th. So we're really delighted that the awareness has kind of reached a level and has gained a level of support that is truly really humbling, but also the significance. It's not just because we have celebrities that endorse the day, but because of the value of those messages being delivered by people like Angelina Jolie and our members worldwide. But we also do a lot of original research on the experiences of women living with ovarian cancer. We started that work in 2018. We did what I think remains today the largest study of the experiences of women living with ovarian cancer. You can see the globe kind of highlights some of the countries that participated, but over 1,500 women worldwide shared their experiences. It was published in a peer-reviewed journal and actually remains today a really important resource for the coalition in terms of our priorities and strategies, but also for clinicians, for researchers, for our member organizations. At the time, that study, in our view, didn't collect or reflect in the way that we wanted it to the experiences of women in lower and middle income countries. So we're currently replicating the study in 24 low to middle income countries. We currently have, as of today, 1,800 respondents, which again will really make this study a huge contribution to an area where there is very little insight and evidence known. And that is what will drive change and progress. So I'll just finish. I know we want to leave some time for questions. So all of the information about what we do, World Day, our Every Woman study, will be on our website. The details are here. Anyone who's interested in our work, please get in touch with me directly. My email is here. To email info@World Ovarian Cancer Coalition. We will get back to you if you want to become a member or learn more about what we do. But I just wanted to highlight one last thing. Our annual partner meeting is coming up on the week of 27th of November. Please go to the website and register. We have some great sessions. But also anyone who wants to nominate an organization, including the many wonderful organizations that spoke tonight, or clinicians, or someone who has supported them in their journey, please do go look at our impact awards. We would be delighted to have nominations from organizations and individuals who are as committed to this disease and tackling it as we are. So I'm going to leave it there, and hopefully we have some time for questions and discussion. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Clara. Sure
Stop.
do. Yeah, we have time for sure. Thank you, Clara. So we are going to bring back all of our panelists now. So Erin, I'll help you spotlight everybody. We will bring them front and center, and just wonderful to be able to use this time. We have a nice group here. I think you could unmute yourself if you have any questions. Absolutely do that. Not a problem at all. And we can just dive into some questions that the community has. Let's see if we got them all up here.
Yeah. Or if anyone wants to share their experience with working with one of these organizations, if you're already familiar with them, we would love to hear it as well.
We do. We had Shannon had to leave us, correct? So that's the only one we're missing there. And Erin, I'm going to bring you up here as well.
Oh, thank you.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. People watch that chat. I just want to tell you, it was, a lot of us here serve on a lot of roundtables and different, important type of committees for the ovarian cancer to move that mission forward. And I was blown away when I'm serving on this roundtable thinking, how do we not bring us all together? Because it was so valuable to see all the different organizations there representing such goodness and support. And, as we said earlier, a lot of you, of course, know the work that Unite for Her does. You're a part of our community. You're here tonight. And then you'll see how all the other organizations can, we can supplement, or we can be strategic. And if there's meal delivery happening and you're in the Massachusetts area, or you in another area, don't use Unite for Her's passport for that. Use that organization and use our passports for something that somebody else is not offering, just so you can get the most out of all the different resources that we have to continue to support you. So, always know that we are here to answer any questions. We clearly have this beautiful coalition together, and we can be a sounding board in making sure that we get all of your information that's in the chat. We will have that available on our recording, all in one place, all of their decks, to make sure that you are not forgetting any of these valuable resources. All right. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself. If any of our panelists felt like they needed something more that you wanted to touch on, we can do that as well.
Hi.
Renee, I see you came off mute. Renee, go ahead.
Hi. I work with Susan Patterson a lot. Hi, Sue.
Hi.
I have volunteered with Ovations for, I don't even know how many years it's been now. And I would just like to comment how amazing Susan is in her advocacy for women in the Boston area, and how much she cares for us. And that's all I want to say.
It's great, Renee. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. And I am walking in the Boston Marathon walk for Ovations
Wow.
Beautiful.
Screen treatment.
during treatment.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
So I'm going to mute myself again.
No problem. Thank you for being here, Renee. That was really, really
You're
sweet.
welcome.
Yeah, and absolutely. We heard a lot about different events that are coming up throughout the fall, conferences, fundraisers for organizations that are here with us tonight. So please be sure that you check them out. Just the conferences alone, I'm sure there's excellent speakers and really informative topics. And we know education is so empowering. So certainly be sure to take a look at those, and hopefully you'll be able to join, do some learning, engaging, and connecting with others.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, any of our panelists have anything else they want to add? I actually see Linda has something in the chat there, Erin. It says, hi, Robin. Robin, you are up. It's Linda. First, thank each and every one of you. After 10 months in Avastin maintenance, it looks like I am heading into my second recurrence. I know. I don't even know where to start. How do I look into trials? Is that something Sloan will tell me? Is that something?
Linda, call me tomorrow. You have my cell phone number.
I investigated on myself. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Robin.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and you bring up a good point just about clinical trials. I know we heard Clarity mention and other organizations that can help connect you. NOCC, just about understanding, identifying verbiage around clinical trials. So it's so wonderful to hear so many organizations that are also really advocating for patients to learn more about it and get involved in them. So that's great.
And there are so many treatments now. I mean, that's the progress that we've made. You know, like I had said, when Sandy was diagnosed, there were 2 treatments and 1 trial. There are so many options. And while, you know, facing a recurrence is really difficult, and the path forward is challenging, there are a lot of treatment options. And the chances are is that you will see another remission. We just have to find the best treatment for you. There's only one you. We'll find it.
Thank you, Robin. I also wanted to mention I would be remiss if we didn't share the Unite for Her program for ovarian recurrent participants. We renew that passport every 6 months. Do not forget that. You know, we do the same for our metastatic community. So then you could actually get access to those services, those $2,000 worth of services ongoing, you know, at least 6 months and after, as long as you've used the entire passport. And that way, you know, we'll be by your side and following you as you have ongoing treatment. We want to make sure we don't pull anything away during a time that's really arduous, and to help you adhere to treatment as well and have the best outcome. So I feel like a lot of the people on are in the Unite for Her community, but of course, if you are not and you are not familiar with our passport program, just shoot me a little message in the chat and we will make sure that we get all that information to you in case you came from one of our other organizations here tonight.
Yeah, wonderful. And I want to also touch on Angela's request, which I do not think is too big of an ask. We do have a calendar of events at our Unite for Her website. And with all of these wonderful partner organizations, we are happy to link to all of those events that are taking place throughout this community. So we'll be sure to connect with all of our speakers tonight, Angela, and get those added to our calendar of events so that they're in one place for you as well. So I will get working on that right away.
I love that you have a lot to put in there. Go ahead, Veronica.
I know, that's a good problem.
Yeah.
Hi. So I'm in my I have a recurrence. I'm in the middle of my chemo now. So my question is, Robin, is there anything else? And I'm so sorry, my dog's barking. Is there anything along like with trials? I tried researching really quick, but my doctor really wanted me to make a decision because of the reoccurrence. Is there anything that at this point I can research or look into for either maintenance? Because my doctor has not told me what would happen after chemo's over in December. So is there any way or somebody I could talk to that would be able to help me with that? So I'm
Yeah,
not in a rush panic mode at that point.
no, absolutely. And I mean, if you want, my email's in the chat. If you want to email me, it's hard to kind of say something now without knowing like your particular story, but I'm happy to help you. And I also think, I want to also make it clear to people that you make the best decisions that you can with the information that you have today. We don't know what's going to come tomorrow or next week. And so it makes it a little bit more manageable. So of course you can research the things right now, but months from now, something new may become available. So, you're going to arm yourself with the best information you can right now and see what else comes down the road. But I'm happy to help you if you just want robin@sandyovarian.org and we can just schedule a time to chat.
Great, thank you, I appreciate it. And thank you, Sue and Erin, Unite for Her has been amazing. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Veronica.
I
See Cynthia was in the chat there, Erin. So Cynthia is very familiar with the Unite for Her program, and we do offer acupuncture. And then, of course, for our community, we have a 1 year that we use the passport, and then we roll over and we enroll more of our individuals. So her question was, do any of the organizations that are here today have any access or maybe even funding for acupuncture? I'm thinking, right, Cynthia? Yeah. Your passport is over. Is that right, Cynthia? No, time flies too fast with us, Cynthia.
Yes, it's over, but acupuncture is wonderful. I just wish I can get more of it. And I wish that my insurance would cover it. And many of the insurance companies do not.
Yeah. Cynthia, some are moving towards that. I know that Independence Blue Cross for their Medicare, I want to say they offer 12 treatments, and they're starting. So do a little digging just in case you haven't. You may have already, Cynthia. So I'm sorry if I'm being redundant there, but it is nice to see in some states, they do offer a little bit as well, where they're covering acupuncture. Some will cover it if it is a physician. All of our acupuncturists are dual trained, and they are a physician as well as licensed in acupuncture. And that first, like the half of the service is like a doctor's appointment, the way that they put it in the second. So you may be able to get a little bit of a discount there. But something to look into anyway. I think one of the things that we talk about too, Erin, is we try and find organizations that offer funding and grants to our ovarian community. And that way you could end up, maybe applying for a grant and then utilizing those funds to go towards some of the complementary therapies or basic needs or what you need to help support you. So that's another avenue to go.
Yeah, Cynthia, feel free to, go to, I can put the link in the chat, our financial assistance program, as Sue just said, to maybe offset some of your other costs and things, but that might be very handy for you. I'll put it in the chat here, a link to our financial assistance too.
Okay, thank you so much.
Of course.
Acupuncture is so much better than physical therapy, let me tell you. It really is. For me, it was. Yeah. And I felt as though I received better results.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Well, Cynthia, you know my story, right? As a survivor, I relied on acupuncture so much and did 36 treatments the year I was diagnosed, and it was impactful and life-saving for me. So you're speaking to the choir when you talk to me about that, Cynthia. All right. I feel like we got everybody's questions answered, Erin.
This has been wonderful.
Yeah, I want to thank this fabulous panel. I am so grateful to all of you. It was a ask that we put out, and you were so just accommodating and helped us put this together. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We love the collaborations. We look forward to doing it again. How about if we make this a September thing? I think that's important for us to do.
I think that would be wonderful.
Great idea.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. And if there's anything else that we can do for you, you know how to reach us. As a community, Erin, you know that we're going to be putting this all under her library. So the recording will be there. If you have anybody that you want to share it with that might have missed it, we always have those up the next day. Rachel is on it. So we will have all the PowerPoints, all of the information up by tomorrow. And then if there's anything that our panelists missed and you feel like you want to get out to our community, you know, you can use our voice for sure.
Absolutely. And we'll get all of those events on our calendar as well. So thank you all for joining us this evening.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Really
Thanks,
well
everyone.
done.
Everyone.
Great. Take
Thank
care,
you so
everyone.
much. Thank you for all you do.
Mhm.
All right. Sue, as we conclude this evening, we'll do a quick little wrap up.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great
Night, you
panel.
guys.
You got it, Terry.
Wonderful. Well, I will give a big thanks again to our sponsors for our speaker series and supporting all of our education this evening. West Pharmaceutical, and then additional support, of course, Daiichi Sankyo, Lilly, Merck, GSK, and Immunogen. So thankful for them. So
yeah,
wonderful.
And that reminder, right? We have a good virtual hangout coming up. We have a lot of October events. October the 4th at 6 o'clock is our Hispanic Heritage Month with Catherine, who is on staff in Spanish. She will be joined by Paolo Giarello, cancer exercise specialist. Paolo will be educating on importance of movement and live activity demo. Catherine will be wrapping up our hangout with a delicious seasonal mocktail.
Yes. And then we're doing a little bit of self-learning about self-massage next Thursday for our speaker series, October 5th. We will be joined by Laura Bryant-Erner from Heal Well organization, teaching us all about massage, supporting oneself physically and mentally. Little learning, little demo. It'll be a wonderful evening. So hopefully we will see you there as well.
Yeah, and as always, you can find all of the past recordings right on our Her library. Please feel free to go in there, take a look. We have so much in there now, Erin. It's, you know, we feel so proud that we're able to answer the community's needs. Please let us know if there's something that is missing. We are happy to bring that front and center. It is important to us that we can be that thought leader and a sounding board for you. But in the meantime, take a look at speaker series, Ask the Experts, virtual hangout, food for thought. We continue to expand and really honored to serve here at Unite for Her.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody, you have a wonderful evening. Thank you, Erin. It was a beautiful job getting all together.
Thank you. It was a wonderful evening. So everyone stay well, and hopefully we will see you again next week.
Yep. All righty. Have a good night.